this is our last goodbye. I hate to feel the love between us die, but it's over. Just hear this and then I'll go.
Well, get on with it. Hey everybody, Jean-Marc here with a vocal lesson on how to improve your range. Right there, that stretch I did covered 4 octaves. So I figured out how to stretch my range a bit. Actually the exercise I'm going to teach is basically what I just did. And the idea is that you're just sliding up and down the whole length of your range with no break. So the break, like a vocal break, is like when people yodel. Like that's the sound of going over a break. Like it kind of cracks into place, which can be a very effective tool when you're singing. But you don't want to have to do that. So you know, some beginner singers, like maybe they'll be singing a scale. As they get to the top of the range, they'll go over that break, and you'll hear the sound of their voice change completely, and it'll sound like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So did you hear how when I got to like T, it was a T? It didn't sound like my voice did the other times. And you know, like I said, this can be an effective technique to use when you're singing, like that song Wicked Games by Chris Isaak. He's like, no, I don't wanna fall in love. You know, when in that case, it sounds really good. You know, it gives the vocal line some vulnerability, some complexity to it. Whereas if you would have went, no, I don't want to fall in love. You know, now it almost sounds like maybe a lounge singer, like he really doesn't want to fall in love. Which, of course, you know, you totally lose the complexity of the statement, because it probably really does, deep down. But hey, what do I know? So that's what this lesson is all about. It's all about expanding you know, your chest range, your belting range, so that you can hit any note you want to hit full voice, and you don't have to kind of hit it falsetto, which, you know, that same quality that can make it sound like delicate and vulnerable and beautiful can also make it sound really weak. Like if you're trying to sing you know, some like heavy metal, you know, powerful line that run to the hills, run for and you just kind of sing it falsetto. Run to the hills, run for your life. You just totally sound like you chickened out and you didn't like wail it, you know? So that's why this is useful. So let's get into the technique. Essentially what you need to be conscious of is varying the amount of pressure you're putting on your chords as you go up in range. So a lot of times a common mistake that beginners will make is they figure, all right, high note, that takes a lot more effort. I really gotta like pound that note and sing it as hard as I can. When in actuality, you kind of need to pull back on the amount of pressure you're putting on your vocal cords, because when you're pushing like that and then they slip, then you get the dreaded crack in your voice. And it also it makes the break in your voice more pronounced. You know, the thing that we're trying to avoid for the purposes of this lesson. Did you say, no, this can't happen to me? So the idea is, as you go up, you wanna learn where you need to kind of back off. So first, like, go up and find out where your break is, you know, at this point in your singing career. So you want to keep going like, oh, so maybe it's here, oh, oh, and you feel your voice want to kind of slip into the falsetto, it's called, oh, right there. But what you want to do is just keep going over that one part, almost like you're like trying to sand it down. If you were building something, you want to keep going over that one part to try and smooth it. And as you keep going up and down, it just keeps sliding over it. So oh, 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 oh. So you know, if you keep going over that part, it's gonna eventually you'll train your muscles how to smooth it out. And to not slip into a falsetto when you don't want to. So if you just keep practicing that, and then you should be able to sing, you know, normal vocal lines that aren't, you know, some giant ridiculous slide like that in that same range, and you should be able to hit them full voice. So hopefully this is helpful. If not, post questions. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll do what I can to answer them. Thanks.